This $8 million black comedy crime film from acclaimed writer and director Quentin Tarantino was released in October of 1994, where it took home a profit of over $200 million. 4 interconnected stories, told out of chronological sequence, follow the lives of criminals and their accomplices in a tale of violence and redemption. The fantastic cast includes John Travolta in a career-resurrecting role as a relaxed mafia hitman, Samuel L. Jackson as his intelligent partner, Uma Thurman as a free-spirited wife, Bruce Willis as a boxer who risks his life for one final exit, Harvey Keitel as a professional cleaner, and Ving Rhames as a controlling boss. Eric Stoltz, Amanda Plummer, and Christopher Walken also do great work in much smaller parts. And last but not least, Tarantino once again casts himself in a minor role. Now, he's not a particularly bad actor, he's just out of place. His inclusion isn't just distracting though, it also seems like a thinly veiled excuse for him to repeatedly drop the N-word and get away with it. Every other performer digs into his Oscar-winning screenplay with enthusiasm and passion, putting their own personal spin on the pop culture references and meaty dialogue. Even an early scene where Travolta and Jackson discuss the menu items on a foreign McDonald's is very amusing, which helped score both men an Oscar nomination.
Look, I'm telling Marcellus today, I'm through.
But why don't you tell him at the same time why?
Don't worry, I will.
Yeah, and I bet you $10,000 he'll ask his ass off.
I don't give a damn if he does.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped it?
Oh! What's happening?
Oh, man! Shit, man! Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the f did you do that?
Well, I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident.
One standout sequence is when Sam reads a young Frank Whaley his last rites by loudly quoting a fictional Bible verse, "I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers," moments before blowing him away. The highly stylized R-rated teleplay is also filled with a constant stream of excellent rock music, often presented diegetically. Visually, the picture is filmed with long, unbroken takes and static framing, along with plenty of allusions to classic cinema. There's some great parallels between the separate stories too, like Travolta always being in the bathroom whenever bad stuff is going down. And although these relationships between the different threads are largely incidental, when they do cross over, it's a very rewarding moment. That being said, there's very little driving the overall narrative. Showing each chapter out of sequence helps disguise this fact, but ultimately there are huge passages where nothing happens. An extended dinner sequence at a 50s diner may be a fun way to learn more about the characters, but it offers very little in the way of entertainment or exposition. As a result, a 154-minute runtime feels particularly indulgent, with a few too many extraneous and superfluous scenes. Even without a constant through line or consistent pacing, Quentin Tarantino's sophomore effort was a critical darling. Not only did it score 7 Oscar nominations and win Cannes Film Festival's coveted top prize, the Palme d'Or, the film also has been a fixture atop IMDb's top-rated movies for decades. For all of its highly stylized violence, memorable dialogue, and iconic imagery, Pulp Fiction is, unquestionably, Tarantino's magnum opus and one of the most influential films of the 90s. Here now are some of your thoughts. Everyone applauded this film's originality, script, and unusual structure, rating it a resounding amazing. I've long been in the minority in this camp, but with all of its superficial fluff and flair, this isn't something I'd classify as one of the best movies ever. But it's still definitely a very great film.